Sorry.
Let the record show that the regular Riverview City Council meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. on December 18th, 2023. Will the clerk please take roll?
Councilmember Ganaga.
Here.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Here.
Councilmember Prey.
Here.
Councilmember Robbins.
Here.
Mayor Swift.
Here.
Councilmember Webb.
Here.
Councilmember Workman.
Here.
Tonight we have the Pledge of Allegiance led by Councilman Workman and the invocation by Councilman Prey. Will you please rise? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Lord, for the courage and selfless service of our military troops. May our loved ones and all those who serve around the world turn to you for rest and protection. Keep their feet from slipping and hold them securely in your strong right hand until they are safely home. Amen.
Amen. Okay, 4:1, we have some presentations to make. Present certificates of recognition to the 2023 Home Decorating Contest winners. Before we got that, we got announcements, don't we?
Yes, Your Honor, we do have a couple announcements. Mike Kettler in the golf course.
Yes, hi. I just want to let everyone know that on Christmas Eve, December 24th, the Pro Shop will only be open from 8 to 1. Last minute gift certificates or merchandise sales. It'll be walking only for any golfers that day. No carts will go out, and we will be closed on December 25th.
Thank you, Mike.
And our city clerk, Shane Harrison.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just a couple housekeeping items regarding council meetings for the 2024 year due to the holidays and the days that City Hall is closed. We will be moving the first council meeting to Monday, January 8th. The then study session will then be Tuesday, January 16th due to MLK Day, and then the next meeting will be Monday, January 22nd.
Thank you.
And Shane, of course, a full calendar will be published very soon for the whole 2024 calendar year.
Okay.
Thank
That
you.
it?
That's it. Thank you.
I do have a few. On a sad note, I want to ask everyone, please to keep Elmer Trombley and Jim Trombley in your prayers. Jimmy lost his sister and Elmer lost his daughter, Kim, last week. She will be at Chopak Funeral Home starting tomorrow at 1:30, in case anybody wants to go visit. And I also want to let council know that I had a conversation with with Debbie Dingle, Representative Dingle, whatever, today, and that she's doing their best to get set up. Sometime in January, there will be a public meeting dealing with all the stakeholders with the Arkema property. So as soon as I get a date set up for that, I will let council know when we can get that out. It will likely take place at the DCC, and the head of the EPA, or at least the EPA rep, will also be there to answer questions. So we're having our progress as slow as it is. We're still trying to move forward on getting that property addressed. So with that, we'll get to the more fun stuff. Present certificates to the recognition of the 2023 Home Decorating Contest winners. This year represents the 25th year of the Holiday Decorating Contest, sponsored by the Recreation Commission and Todd Dickman. This year, the following houses were selected to be recognized to the 2023 Home Decorating Contest winners. So, Todd, will you come up and give me a hand? And why don't you give a little background of how this competition works?
All right. All right, thank you. Every year, the city, now for 25 years, has had a Halloween decorating, or Halloween, holiday is what I want to say, decorating contest. And what it is every house that decorates is open to the contest. So the judges go around and they check out all the houses in the city and they pick their top 5 each year, and we present them with a wreath and a certificate for the job that they did in helping the city look nice for the holidays.
Perfect. So first up is the DuBois family, if they are here. Awesome, come on down. They live at 17706 Valade. I haven't been by there yet to check them all out, but the list is on our website and Facebook pages for everybody to take a peek at those.
Thank you.
Thank you. Congratulations. You can just stay up here if you don't mind. Next up is the Fry family. Are the Frys here? You both can come down. They live at 18297 Wendy Court. Again, the addresses will be listed on our Facebook page and our website. Great job, you guys. Thank you. There you go. Thank you. You can just stay up here if you don't mind. And the Humble family, are they here? 19628 Brandywine. And we've discussed this every year. We think that DTE should play a big role in providing prizes for you guys. Thank you, guys. You come up over here. The Wendell family, are they here? All right, come on down. And DT, how appropriate. Talk to your boss, would you? There you go. Thank you, guys. They're at 17422 Devonshire. And I know they're here, the Petroviches. Come on down. Yeah, Todd was just saying this is actually the first year we've had all the winners here, so this is a good deal. And I go by your house every day. I think you guys well deserve it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. And last but not least, we also try to include at least one business in the competition, and this one won it hands down by far with the decorating of the windows, Parthenon Coney Island Restaurant. Come on down, Eddie. They always do a great job of decorating. There you go, Eddie. There you go, it's right here. All right. Can you get it, everybody, Larry?
I can try. Maybe you can screw down a little?
Yeah, I'll just move a little bit. Let's give them all a big hand for all the hard work they did.
It's kind of neat, though.
I didn't have to tell them I wouldn't be offended if they left. All right, with that, we have 5-1, approve the minutes of the 12/4/23 regular Riverview City Council meeting in a condensed version for publication. What's council's pleasure?
So moved. Support.
Motion by Councilman Robbins, supported by Councilwoman O'Neill. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
Councilmember Prey?
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Workman?
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
Today, we have no public hearings. Now it's time for a public comment. Anyone wishing to address the council, approach the podium, state your name and address for the record. Try to keep your comments to 5 minutes. There is no sharing of time and no rebuttals. And please be respectful during this holiday season. Yes, sir.
Ken Kyleman, 20243 Coachwood. I see our award winners went home, but if they're like me, they'll probably go later on and watch on YouTube to get to see themselves on TV. And so for them and all the other folk that decorate this time of year, I'd just like to say thank you. back in the early 80s, one of our traditions at our family when my kids were young before I moved to Riverview, was to get in my car and come to Riverview and look at all the lights and things. And frankly, it's one of the things that attracted us to the community and speaks well of us. So thank you to all those folks that take time to do that. I'd like to thank the council for taking the matter of the interfund loans to last week's study session so that they and the interested public might better understand the matter before voting on it. I fully support the concept of the loans and their formalization, but I also appreciate the council's unwillingness to rubber stamp this significant item and instead vote thoughtfully after due consideration, so thank you. I'd also like to thank our city manager and his team who brought this recommendation to the council as a part of their earnest effort to handle the city finances more openly and responsibly than has occurred in the past, and we look forward to more similar actions. And in that same spirit of openness and accountability, I again would like to remind the public that the Ad Hoc Audit Committee will be meeting this Thursday, December 21st at 6 p.m. in the room across the hall, where our independent outside auditors will present the results of their recent audit, at least I hope, unless things change again. And finally, may I once again encourage the council to provide the public, along with the agenda for any public meetings, copies of the other relevant materials that are made available to the council to aid them in their decision-making whenever possible. Thank you. Merry Christmas.
Thank you. Merry Christmas. Thank you. Merry Christmas to you too, Mr. Kyleman. Anybody else?
Good evening, everyone. My name is Ed Moss. I live at 18207 Belade. Before I get into what I came to speak tonight, since I wasn't at the last meeting, I wanted to welcome Shane Harrison as our new city manager, as well as Brian Webb and Dave Prey to the council. I've done so privately, however, I have not done so publicly, so now I'm taking that opportunity. Through your chair, Mr. Mayor, to Councilmember Prey, even though I wasn't at the last meeting, I did hear your comment at that meeting. And because of that, not only did I contact State Senator Camilleri as well as Debbie Dingell, I also contacted State Representative Churches as well as Senator Gary Peters, Senator Debbie Stabenow, and Governor Whitmer. I'd heard from Debbie Dingell's office, it was pretty similar to what Mayor Swift said, however, he had a little bit more detailed information than I did, so I appreciate that. However, there is supposed to be a posting of some sort within the next, they're vague on time, I'd say couple of months or so at the most. And with that, my heart's a little heavy as we get into Christmas in light of the fact of the person that was killed near the landfill. Very tragic. It kind of rocked me when I read about that. I do appreciate the fact that there was or is an ongoing investigation, whichever the case may be, into that. As this is a very serious matter and not one to be taken lightly, to be sure. But it also made me think about how precious life itself is, especially this time of year, and especially with what I didn't know that you said about Elmer Trombley's daughter, Mr. Mayor, and my heart goes out to him as well for that. But just really something that stuff like this has occurred for sure. The other thing I had is, and I'd saved this for a while unintentionally, but about 2 months ago or so, there was a pretty big fire from what I read on Clark Street that apparently didn't injure the owner of that house, but did significant damage to his garage as well as to his truck, I believe. And if Chief Lambers has more information on that, I would appreciate that. And then just to wrap up, this being the last meeting of the year and heading into Christmas, it's been a pretty tumultuous and turbulent year, to say the least. I would expect that with it being an election year. My hope is going forward as we head into 2024, we can have, at least for the time, a more peaceful and more stable Riverview. Because I believe that happier people make for a better city, and a better city is no harm to anyone. Thank you, and Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everybody.
Thank you. Anybody else?
Darren Sinsat, 17820 Brinson Street, Riverview, Michigan. I want to wish you all a Merry Christmas and Hope that everything goes well for you in the coming days. I'm here only to say this, is that the water department, we were out of water. They had as soon as we were talking about borrowing money from the water, now it goes over there, and that was hot on the issue. I just want to compliment them. They did a fantastic job. They went door to door, letting the citizens know you're going to be without water for a while, fill up, do some reserves, put things in reserves, and they put it back on. They tested it wasn't right. They had to go back in there and do it again, just to let you know as you talk to those people, just let them know that they did a really good job, and my compliments to it.
He's sitting right there.
Right here? They did a great job. The only thing I'm saying is right now is that it's still a little foggy, but I guess that's going to take a little time for it to clear out. But yeah, they really did a good job, and I compliment you on that and doing it. So have a great year, okay?
Thank you. Anybody else? Seeing none, we'll move on. 8.1, appoint city council representatives to committees and organizations. Attached is the committee assignments for the 2022 to 2025 years. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman O'Neill, supported by Councilwoman Ganaga. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Prey,
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins,
Yes.
Mayor Swift,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Workman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill.
Yes.
Is there any item council wants removed from the consent agenda? Seeing none. 9.1, approve the interloan funds from the Water and Sewer Fund to the Land Preserve and Golf Course Finance Department. 9.2, authorize gate rate increases at the Riverview Land Preserve. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman Ganaga, supported by Councilwoman O'Neill. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Robbins,
Yes.
Mayor Swift,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Workman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Prey.
Yes.
10.1, adopt resolution establishing precinct boundary changes and reestablishment of precinct locations. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman Ganaga, supported by Councilwoman O'Neill. Any discussion? Roll call.
Mayor Swift,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Workman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Prey,
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
11.1, award bid 2538 to Rico Equipment for the purchase of a bulldozer in the amount of $518,000. What's council's pleasure?
So moved, Your Honor.
Motion by Councilman Workman, supported by
Support.
Councilman Ganaga. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Your Honor, I have a question.
Councilman Webb.
Thank you. Sorry for the slow reaction to the button. Still getting used to that.
It's not Jeopardy, we can wait.
Thank you. Just a couple of questions because we got the agenda late in the week, and I tried to do my due diligence on this, but still had a few questions, if you don't mind. Through your chair, perhaps, to Kevin, the director from the landfill. Trying to understand, is this bulldozer that we're replacing, which is the John Deere 850L, out of warranty?
Jeff? Go ahead. Go ahead, Kevin.
Yes, it is.
And again, if it's out of warranty, does that mean we're paying out of pocket for all the repairs?
A good mayor through you, yes.
Yes.
And can you explain the difference in the range in the trade-in value that we were getting from the different vendors?
Kevin?
Yes, so the Southeastern was significantly more than everybody else, and they simply don't have another bulldozer in a landfill that they can speak of at this time. So I don't feel that we are the one where they should start. AIS came back with, I believe it was 60,000, and Rico was 65,000, so it's comparable. Caterpillar came back with a little bit more.
but we just don't feel that the service is where it needs to be for our landfill.
And I'm understanding the reason why we want to get a replacement instead of running one that's out of warranty is it can be a delay in getting the parts, which if the machine's down, then we're losing revenue.
Correct.
Is that correct? Okay. And even though, is it pronounced Rico or Reco?
Rico?
Rico was not the lowest bid. Yourself and the committee was confident that because of the service that they provide historically, there's 2 other bulldozers by this company that we have, is that correct?
Correct.
That the third would get just as good service as compared to CAT or AIS, which AIS is John Deere, am I understanding that correctly?
Correct.
And that's what we currently have is a John Deere A50L?
Yes.
And it's not up to our standards, correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Your Honor,
Jeff.
the other thing is that Rico, they have a package for bulldozers to work in the trash. So they have designed it to work in the trash, which is twice as hard as just pushing dirt when you're working in the trash.
That just jogged my memory of another question. Sorry. What type of life do we get out of this new bulldozer? Is it 10,000 hours as well?
Kevin?
Warranty?
Mayor, through you, historically, it's 10,000 hours. 4 years, 10,000 hours, right around there.
4 years?
4 years, 10,000 hours, yeah.
Okay.
And when we expect delivery of this one?
It would be August of '24.
Okay, so it's a substantial wait.
Okay. And silly question perhaps, but City Manager Dobek, we have the funds in the budget for this?
We will be budgeting this year for that piece of equipment.
Okay.
We're just trying to get in line to hold it.
Right, it'll be in the
Queue.
the next year's budget, yes.
And there is no down payment on it. We just signed a purchase order.
Any further discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Workman?
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
Councilmember Prey?
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes. 11.2, award bid 2541 to Geologic for the purchase of a global positioning system, machine control for landfill use in the amount of $57,520. What's council's pleasure?
So move, Your Honor.
Motion by Councilman Workman, supported by
Support.
Councilman Robbins. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Workman?
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
Councilmember Prey?
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
11.3, authorized sale of CNG station to Bavarian Trucking Company, Inc. for $180,000. What's council's pleasure?
Mr. Mayor, discussion before motion.
Go ahead.
A few questions on this. And I reached out to pretty much the entire council all week, so I appreciate you guys, or all weekend, I appreciate you guys working with me on this. So, speak with City Manager Dobek and yourself. I just had a couple questions. The bid was sent out, was the sale sent out for bid prior to settling on Bavarian Trucking?
Jeff?
It was a unsolicited bid from them.
Okay.
We did have an appraisal done.
Okay, and per the conversation you and I had,
Yes.
I went back through and I'm looking at the backup information, you know, just so I can be informed. And during the conversation, we discussed that and I'll let you go into details in case anybody else is wondering this. We will be receiving income from the CNG plant or the pump for a number of years.
Correct. I believe the gas curve is 25 to 30 years.
So on the backup data, I don't have where that's coming from. Should that be listed in the backup data?
Wait a minute, we're talking two different things here. This is the CNG plant?
Yes.
Yes.
What he's referring to, Mayor, what he's referring to is, right now, we have 100 SCFMs that are going to the gas CNG plant.
Right?
Once we close this off and sell the equipment, it will go directly to the RNG plant at DTE. Those SCFMs can be extrapolated to $40,000
Okay,
per year in additional revenue.
okay. Instead of to the CNG station?
And
Okay.
yeah, correct.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Just a quick question.
sure.
I understand that this was unsolicited. Should we send this out to bid?
Jeff?
Well, what I can tell you is, this was put in 2012. We've already put a lot of maintenance dollars into this,
That's correct, yeah.
and as it gets old, it becomes worthless. So we had it independently appraised just to make sure that this was in the right order, and the appraisal come back the same, I mean, $7,000 different, so.
No, you're correct. You and I spoke about this earlier. That
Yep.
was, yeah. That's it for me, Mayor.
Thank
I
you.
have a question, if I might, Mayor.
Councilman Webb?
The page detailing $187,000, which I believe is an invoice from Compression Fueling Services, and this is materials for repairs for the gas plant, is that correct?
That would be if we, Mayor, sorry.
Go ahead, Kevin.
That would be if we were to purchase the system as is, as it were today.
I'm sorry, a little bit louder.
If we were to purchase the system as it is today, 10-year-old product.
So this is an estimate of what it would cost to purchase it today?
Correct.
So we, just to be clear in my mind, we invested 1.2 million on this, and today it's worth 187,000?
Correct.
And we're been offered 120,
180.
180.
80, okay. Sorry, my numbers mixed up here. So going back to Councilman Pray's question, if this is an unsolicited bid, if we were not to approve this sale, would it go out for bid again, or would we just continue with it as is? And it would continue to decline in value, I presume?
So we took a look at the history of the RNG sold from the duration, from the inception till right now. We've collected $225,000 in RNG sales of gas. At the time when this 1.2 plant was built, the gas per gallon was $4 a gallon.
Yeah,
So the
$4.50.
idea was everyone's going to move to CNG because it's going to be $5, $6, $7 a gallon. We even ordered, and Mr. Webb told me this morning, reminded me, we ordered pickup trucks and different trucks in the water department with CNG that we paid a premium on. And they don't work, and when they break down, there's not even a place that services them any longer. Dealerships do not service the CNG vehicles.
Will
So
those
this
vehicles
was,
have to be replaced?
I'm sorry?
Will we replace those vehicles?
We have been replacing those vehicles with regular gas-powered engines, not with the CNG $18,000 premium. And there was only really 1 year that the CNG plant did pretty good, and that is when Amazon was filling up, but they created their own CNG for all their trucks. They created their own CNG station, so they're no longer coming in. And they had to come in the middle of the night because that wasn't a true fleet industrial pump. That was more of a consumer pump. And we have been having some issues with the pump itself. We've changed some of the the granule filters in it a year ago, and we're still having some problems right now with the CNG not coming very clean out. So we've got some issues that we're going to have to review and take care of.
Yeah, you had mentioned Amazon created their own gas plant. Would either Amazon or other corporations, large transportation, or trucking industry be interested in?
No, and that's just what I said.
This is basically scrap metal stuff
We have
now.
a pedestrian unit. We don't have a commercial fleet unit. We have a very small unit. 100 SCFMs are very small. That's what our capacity is. Even if we wanted to pump more, we're going to have to put, what was it, Kevin, $80,000 into a new compressor.
Correct. And with this, if I may, Mayor, through your chair, is that the 200 and some odd thousand that we've had in revenue is not counting our media changeouts, our manpower that we've put into this. You know, I didn't add it to the backup just because I thought that the revenue number was good enough. It doesn't account for any of the additional work that we've done to this system throughout the 11 years that we've had it.
And this is going to continue running and operating for another 30 years?
No, this
Going
is,
back to Councilman Prey's question?
No, I think you misunderstood.
Yeah.
The
Okay.
gas is going to be then diverted back to the RNG plant of the DTE. So this is not unused or wasted SCFM and natural gas. It will just go back to the plant, and it'll be burned into BTUs, and that'll be paid in royalties back to the city.
but I think, Brian, the best way to put it is, we'll make more money off the gas going to the gas plant as opposed to the CNG filling station.
Okay.
Any further discussion?
Mr. Mayor, final
Councilman
question.
Prey.
Is there a time limit on this bid, this offer?
Kevin?
Mayor, through your chair, yes, there is. They'd like to have a document in hand before the end of the year.
Okay. Any further discussion?
Just one last, I had noticed, and I wanted to ask this question, that the ad hoc committee gave this recommendation on the 11th, which is less than a week ago. Since the ad hoc wouldn't be meeting for, I presume it's once a month, those meeting minutes wouldn't be approved, because the reason I'm saying this is I checked the drive for any back history to try to get myself up to speed on this, and that document doesn't exist there yet. And I presume that's because this has only been a week since they've had this discussion. The meeting minutes are not available.
Yeah, through the mayor to you, Mr. Webb, they unanimously approve.
The entire CNG, the landfill committee approved this. Any further discussion? Did we get a motion on that? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Any support?
Support.
Supported by Councilman Robbins. Roll call, please.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
Councilmember Prey?
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Workman?
Yes.
11.4, award cooperative bid purchase to Bidiger Contractors for lead service replacement throughout the city for the amount of $50,000 and to Charles E. Raines Company for engineering contract administration and inspection for the amount of $5,500 for a total cost of $55,500. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman O'Neill, supported by
Support.
Councilwoman Ganaga. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
Councilmember Prey? Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Workman?
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
11.5, award cooperative bid purchase to Sewer and Water Specialists, Inc. for hydro excavating for lead service lines inventory throughout the city for the amount of $100,000 and to Charles E. Raines Company for engineering contract administration and inspection for the amount of $8,000 for a total cost of $108,000. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilman O'Neill, supported by Councilman Workman. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Prey?
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins?
Yes.
Mayor Swift?
Yes.
Councilmember Webb?
Yes.
Councilmember Workman?
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga?
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill?
Yes.
12.1, authorized second reading by title only and adoption of proposed ordinance number 743 to amend the Code of Ordinances to the City of Riverview, Section 66-3, to ratify and approve amended traffic control order number 397. What's council's pleasure?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilman motion by Ganaga, supported by Webb. Any discussion? Roll call.
Councilmember Robbins,
Yes.
Mayor Swift,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Workman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Prey.
Yes.
The City of Riverview, an ordinance to amend the Code of Ordinances of the City of Riverview to amend Section 66-3 to ratify and reapprove a revised traffic control order number 397.
Do we have a motion to adopt?
So moved.
Motion by Councilwoman Ganaga, supported by
Support.
Councilwoman O'Neill. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mayor Swift,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Workman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Prey,
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Before we get to other business, Randy, you have a motion for us?
Yes, Your Honor. May I recommend a motion to concur with the recommendation of the MMRMA Legal Counsel and authorize settlement authority in the Lewis versus Riverview case as set forth in the closed session minutes of December 4, 2023.
Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilwoman O'Neill, supported by Councilwoman Ganaga. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Webb,
Yes.
Councilmember Workman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Prey,
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins.
Yes.
Mayor Swift.
Yes. Is there any other business council wants to bring up at this time?
Your Honor,
Councilwoman O'Neill.
I know typically we seem to be getting our agendas on Fridays, with many of us now on council that do work. I feel like there's a lot of questions that are being risen from the agenda. Can we possibly get the agendas on Thursday? Just to, I don't want to call Jeff on the weekends, and it just would make it a little easier. Maybe we could at least look at it on Thursdays, arise our questions, and bring them forth.
Yeah, Jeff, can you do your best to make sure that happens? 'Cause they
Yes, we
they-
can.
Yeah.
There's,
Yeah.
unless there's any kind of documents being held up, but at least we can ship the item and as much documentation as we can so that.
Thank you.
Yeah,
It'll
and
help.
that's a good idea. And I'd say if there's only like one piece you're waiting for,
Yeah.
send us what we have ready, so, because, there's, and actually I had that conversation with Councilman Prey, is you want to give them at least, Dave kept saying, I'm sorry, Councilman Prey kept saying, I don't want to bug you. Well, that's what we're here for. But staff, we try to get our questions in during the working day. So it'd be either, Friday afternoon, or Thursday afternoon, Friday, or, anytime Monday to get the questions in. Thank you. Anything else council wants to bring up?
Mr. Mayor,
Councilman Prey.
at the last city council meeting, resident Sunset asked for a list of the chemicals that are currently at the Arkema site. I want to make sure that when I'm asked a question, I always respond, if not that evening, the following council meeting. So I actually do have those chemical lists. I'm going to make sure I get you a full copy of them. I'll give you the MSDS report on each and every chemical, and you'll have that by this weekend. So, not a problem. And other than that, and I told the mayor I'm going to make this part of every council meeting. Residents, please reach out to your state reps. Please contact them, ask them what's going on with the Arkema site. Let them know that we're not going to sit by and watch. We want action. Top priority does not mean 5-10-year wait. So I'm not going to change my feelings on this. It's going to take all the residents to come together. So, and Mr. Moss, Merry Christmas to you as well. That's it, Your Honor.
Well, then I would like to add Merry Christmas to all my fellow council members and to our staff and to our residents. Hope you all have a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And everybody, please be safe. Thank you. I look for a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Support.
Motion by Councilman Ganaga, supported by Councilman Prey. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Councilmember Workman,
Yes.
Councilmember Ganaga,
Yes.
Councilmember O'Neill,
Yes.
Councilmember Prey,
Yes.
Councilmember Robbins,
Yes.
Mayor Swift,
Yes.
Councilmember Webb.
Yes.
Let the record show the meeting adjourned at 7:39, and go Eagles.